saying?
Yes, I give thanks to life, yeah.
A serious thing. We are here again, Ballhead and the Dread. Give thanks for everybody supporting the thing from those times till now. I have to remind you, make sure you check out EP from the one Far Eye in the description, Disrupting the Status Quo. Also, if you get free time, make sure you check us out. I Never Knew TV.com. Make sure you visit. New stuff there every day, guaranteed. Fire, what we're reasoning about.
Well, today we are reason about the closing of a whole heap of Walmart across America. We talk about some of the implications where them have, some of them being positive, some being negative. I feel like it's a reason where can I impact a whole heap of people even when it don't look like that.
As of recently, if you're unaware, Walmart's been closing a lot of stores. They have closed stores in the past, but now they're really like locking them down. Some claim it's underperforming. I know Portland, they're closing them down because of theft. They can't control the amount of theft that's taking place out there, which is pretty wild. They're cutting it down because of the high thefts, right? But before we even get into all this stuff, all right, there's one thing I want to clarify with people with this Walmart. Walmart closing is a two-edged sword. I'm going to tell you why. When Walmart opens up in an area, they destroy the local small businesses because they're providing a department store that has all the individual businesses a community usually would have, right? When I grew up in East Orange, or Orange, that is Central Ave, yeah, hardware store, record store, car store. You basically had a store for every thing that you needed. When these companies came in, your Walmarts, these department stores, all those independent stores went out of business. And I don't know if they started working at Walmart or where they worked at. That entrepreneurship, all the benefits that come from it, all the benefits that come from the community, just not from a financial standpoint, but from a pride standpoint, from an example standpoint, is wiped away. But when Walmart leaves now, remember they destroy these industries because obviously they buy at a higher volume. They get a cheaper price. You buying at a lower volume can't compete. When they leave, not only do the people who work at Walmart are unemployed, the jobs or the industries that they destroyed, they're not coming back. So now we have more unemployment. And the industries that were there prior to the arrival of Walmart are gone, right? Another thing I want to touch on later in the reasoning is inflation. Usually Walmart caters to a certain economic demographic in our country. And they themselves are complaining, saying things aren't selling, people aren't coming to buy. Sorry. So I think that's a super red flag because I think after Walmart is the dollar store for purchasing stuff, right? From like a commercial store, I think that's the lowest you get, right? It's because Walmart prices Friday selling. Last time I was at Walmart, I don't know if I'm exaggerating. I don't know if it's a 2012 can thing or soda at 24 can. I know I saw something at the end of the aisle. I swore this thing said like $2.99 for like 24 sodas. It's like crazy. So Walmart basically giving away food and clothes, yeah. So that's a red flag for the economy if the people who really shop at Walmart no longer can afford to shop at Walmart.
Yeah, and a whole heap of effects, if you even think about it from the supplier side, because we know say majority of people would have made it from the demand side, given that we are the consumers from a day-to-day basis. But on the supplier side, as what they rightfully say, them drive down the production cost, them a whole heap of things too, because just imagine how much the production cost have a decrease by the suppliers them in order to ensure say them can supply Walmart to a particular amount of quantity where them need. So with them supplier cost if you drive down, make sure the members of them are going to try and make up that certain other places. And now that become a different thing because anybody with them a sell to outside of Walmart, it will rise, it will lead to a different type of cost itself. So now, while the Walmart would end up have the cheaper things them, the person who would have sell the similar items them or sell any item in a particular range have to sell it at a dearer price, edging out every man now up on a different level. So when you pre it from the whole supplier aspect and you pre it from the demand aspect, you can see the total difference. How them end up now shift the economy. So sometimes them say some you have certain things will look good on the front, but it is not all good all good, when they really start unveil certain things. And that's one thing where Walmart always have. But where enough people not even meditate is that when it comes to Fortune 500 companies too, when them say them not make enough profit, is that, what does that mean? You see me I say? Because some of the margins, they might still very high and very much effective. So, but when you think about the whole year-over-year growth, that is what them are talk about, So them year-over-year growth probably not hit that particular curve where them are look towards. And it doesn't mean that that business is not profitable, because a lot of people might misunderstand the whole concept of not making enough profit. It's just the curve them talking about. That curve of growth, that growth curve as them would call it, is not being hit year over year. And that's the reason why them start back out now, because they must say, all right, we already maximize the profit to this particular level. But we look on how the company can grow in the next 3 years. When I see ourselves reach that particular level, probably by a 5-10%, whatever margin or whatever benchmark them set for themselves. So that's the key thing that people feel look on, is not that them now make money, because I know the average individual probably has to wait, but Walmart for now make the money. It's not so them now make money, it's just the way how them are pretty the growth curve. I don't know how them Fortune 500 company are very greedy. If them now see the growth curve, they are moved to this particular length, that's it for them. I remember say it's not like an individual or a particular, it's not even like even a LLC, a single member LLC is a major corporation. So anytime them put in bankruptcy or anything like that, while them are win same way. But it's just that the people them, the employees them now who really get affected for the most part, because whatever people would look to the day-to-day work, they won't really have that whatever skills. Even certain people probably go college and them think they don't feel like them can't go on a job until them have the certain qualifications. And them people they kind of get hit the most when certain things like this take place and Walmart stores are closed all across the nation,
We all know wages haven't increased, right? Do you think that plays a big? I understand, yes, they are making profits, right? But I want to focus on the decline in profits. Do you think that the current rise in prices plays a big role in regards to people shopping less or buying less from Walmart?
Not really enough, because as much as a recession that take place right now, it is what it is. We can call it a recession. Every full-scale industry recognize it as a recession, even if the average person who talk about it on a day-to-day basis don't. So even though that take place, them still have some form of consistency, especially when I was starting about the particular products them where them are sell. You have some products where it now go drop regardless, because certain things we think about Walmart, you think about certain necessities. So regardless of whatever the price might be, it now go affect sale that much. So now them have other items outside of them main drivers will probably get affected by the price, the different price ranges will increase. But for the most part, me gonna say, and would have to do a more in-depth research on what type of goods itself actually bring the majority of profit for Walmart. But from what me know about Walmart, me not see that affect the consumer from even a purchase certain things, because most people shop at Walmart for them necessities what them need, and them go continuously shop at Walmart. And then additional to that, I've members, a lot of people who shop at Walmart places like Walmart, them already have a rewards card where them are use for buy them things. So credit enough people end up buy them things up, and so on. That in itself though might be one of the things them will really affect the company too, because given that the whole recession that take place, a lot of people might continuously rack up dollars on the card itself, but the minimum, the accounts receivable and the accounts payable probably have some form of gap in it when now merge, and at this I know the problem might come into,
No, serious thing, find that charge card. I get them every time. There's another thing I want to touch on with Walmart that this whole thing highlights. In Portland here, they closed 2 stores, right? They laid off 600 workers, and they see. I don't know if this is a propaganda thing, because they're saying it's a Democratic-led city. So I don't know if this is a political propaganda thing. But the fact is, they are closing the store or the Walmarts because they just said it's uncontrollable theft. I worked at CVS when I was in high school, far right? And I remember when I applied for the job, they take you in the back and they show you some videos. And this bugged me out, tell you the truth. So on one of the videos, like somebody's stealing and they tell you how you can't interact. You're not supposed to say nothing, yeah. And like it was just a foreign thought to me, but obviously I understand why for the whole lawsuit and the whole how things could go awry. But I don't know. It's just like that's how it's set up in those stores, you know. And it's just like
Overs member all store like Walmart and them want to them come with a culture. Them come with a culture behind them, and the culture where they behind them drive the way how them business move to. So you see even certain things where you see other store might do, them don't want to do that purposely, you know. Them purposely not even want to do some of them things because them have their whole culture they were associated with it. And then the thing we're going in this whole economic downturn now is that you see the way how Walmart set them culture. And a whole heap of advertisement going at them type of company. And so I want them know say as advertisement dollars still are flowing. So it's not like say overall on a grand scale, them are gonna just shut down all business because them know so that in it, them alone can crash the economy even further based on them things. So as they did mention too, there is also a political agenda where can be attached to this particular closing of them story. And it might be a political agenda where we not even overstand. But one thing me know for sure, especially having the knowledge of advertisement fire and knowing how this thing work, this is not just something where I deal with just profit itself alone. It have something more to do with the grand scheme of ensuring that Walmart can be the particular type of corporation they will continue excel to get their growth curve. Then that is not something we really want to bypass or to start both like minimally, because the growth curve that them try to get to it's so revealing. It's so revealing because it's always revealing. But at the full of the day, we have to know say it's not like just one side to the thing for you. It's just a whole heap of different factors that we have to put into play. And we have to make sure. So one might even not say why ones of my reason about this, but it's something where affect a whole heap of people for you, especially people on the lower side of the economic ladder. And something where it affect people on the lower side of the economic ladder, it make up majority of the GDP will come through for the country, and I don't think that people need to understand. Because all I hear them tell about this world, America is mostly made up of middle class. That is BS.
that's only on Hollywood. That's only on Hollywood. All right, that's our TV show.
People need to know that. So, and Walmart itself play a role in how the lower class operate from an employment standpoint, from a consumption standpoint, and many other factors will play into them there. And from we talk about employment, we go on to employment rate. We know the employment rate are going to affect the GDP. We know that the employment rate are going to affect how whole heap of different things function, or the political political schematic setup again when it comes to employment and how much different policies have to go past. And we know how that are going to affect the taxes. We know what you see it's a whole chain reaction thing. And ones might not see it from the forefront. They might hear this whole thing, Walmart closing, but we have to measure it from the aspect they fire. How much we can ask all the people now living in America or even in the connection to America, how much people you know work at Walmart? I'm sure no people are gonna know are gonna have somebody who work at Walmart, especially if them never have certain skills or them up and coming in a them whole career process. It's just one of them stepping stone there for the average youth or for people who don't have no farmer skills at all for go towards that. It's just like the whole factory. This is how them transition from the whole industrial revolution and the industrial period when time GM used to carry a lot of workers them. All of that shift over now towards store like Walmart and them type of industries yeah. And that's why I sure one said them type of thing I will we are meds and a tech heat up and I overstand how it work.
And there's one thing I have to touch on far right. When I used to teach, I used to make the joke of the school I was at, I used to refer to it as Walmart because the turnover was so high. All right, the turnover was so high, right? But in all reality, you spoke about the culture at Walmart. The working culture has a high rate of turnover. I remember reading one time that initially when you do get the job, they give you a paper form so you can sign up for government assistance because they themselves know already your income is not sufficient, right? But I'm expecting, this is just a speculation, I haven't confirmed this, but I take it that the turnover is even magnified now in this woke culture that we're in, where no one wants to work and all these type of vibes here. So maybe that's one of the reasons too, pushing them to close down certain stores in regards to just manning the store consistently. They may say all these other things, but maybe it's a case of employment shortage because places don't have employees. And like that whole relationship you had with a person at a place that's no longer there because they're not there. If you go to a particular place and the person used to provide service for you, you know, you guys build a relationship, that them days is done. And I initially saw it in banking. I initially saw it banking around like 2010, around there, where people weren't staying at places for a long period of time. The person to be at a place all 10, 15, 20 years. They're there for a couple months or a couple years and they're gone. And that's just that creates a big issue in things in general. And I think that's a big issue in business moving forward where you don't have that relationship with people. I guess people won't have that expectation because they never experienced it, but it makes things easier. Because one, they know what they're doing, they know what they could do, they know what they can't do. All right, you ever had an experience where somebody says, maybe it's not the protocol, right? But they do something for you in a certain way. Then when you go there, that person's not there. You can't go ask the next person that. Because first thing they gonna tell you is they can't do it.
I am not go on do it, you know, because you know, the energy at the energy certain time too, cause no places you go to a specific person. If your vibes broke more while when time the person there because the other we are thinking about assistance and customer service. So one of the hardest thing for find it's like them things they finish right now until they.
So it's just that vibe, but I don't know, man. I just think I don't know, as we look deeper into it, I think it's a red flag for the economy though. Well, even though we went over all these things, I believe it shows like things are a little tricky out there. They're more tricky than what people say they do. There's one more thing I want to add, all right, and I've been speaking about this for the longest. What's going to happen to commercial real estate? Who's going to take over the mortgages or the rents for these places? Because malls have been empty for a long time. I don't venture to the mall that much, but when I do go, they are empty. I noticed they try to like put local stores in them, and that hasn't been running sufficiently because when I go back, they're not there. But you have a lot of commercial real estate in America that's empty. So who's going to pay that bill? Who's going to pay that loan? I think we always focus on the residential, whatever issue that's coming, student loans, but we don't speak about commercial real estate. So I'm not sure if Walmart own every building that they're in, if they're renting it for another company, but if they are renting it, who's going to take over that payment?
Remember the agenda into pan the whole brick and mortar vibes, you know, cause brick and mortar a decrease more and more for the whole virtual concept too. So even things like them, it make me want speculate say is a approach to get things streamlined into the whole online shopping and decrease the whole brick and mortar, the whole interaction, which could can spare them a lot of different expenses and make them increase them whole profit from the online. And then, as I said, the brick and mortar, them have a set amount of brick and mortar where them use as like a flagship or a representation of them company. And the online become the one where drive the main source of revenue. So, yeah, I mentioned even the commercial real estate a while ago, and it made me even think, say, that's could be a part of them mid to long term agenda. Because I realize well if a company I do that now, where from them lego all of the expenses them where them have to deal with the whole brick and mortar vibes and everything go online, it starts save them a whole heap, and then the same growth curve we are talking about, them can start hit the growth curve after a certain amount of time, 1-2 years, and then them go back into them whole revenue stream where them did at that point in time and start trend upwards again. So I just reveal something in my mind to where could I be a part of them agenda.
I wanted, for the sake of the reason, I brought up the other stuff. For the sake of the reason, right? But straight to the point is just like the population's already trained for online purchasing. You know, and I just think I think they need to say these to justify the laying off people. Not for they could care less about the community because they're still gonna shop. They may complain, but they're still gonna shop because the pricing is there and there's nowhere else to shop. But I think they made these certain remarks to justify the layoffs because there's no severance package when you get laid off from Walmart.
Corporation are defend them own interest, man. You know, say no, you're not gonna find a Fortune 500 corporation who defend the interest of the people, you know. It does, them just have to make sure say good, and one thing them very, very good at is public relations. So yeah.
Big time, man. So I don't know. Anyone who works at a Walmart, if you got laid off, I do feel sorry for you. But it is what it is. But I just pay attention to all these things and see what's going on because we got to listen, we got to watch, and we got to see how we got to execute through the thing because we still got to survive, you know? So we give thanks for everyone tuned in this episode here, Baldhead and the Grid Podcast. If you get free time, make sure you support Far Right, Autarchii EP there in the description, Disrupting the Status Quo. Also, brand new album coming soon. Make sure you look out for that one. And if you get free time, make sure you visit www.inevernewtv.com. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with your loved ones. Share it with yourself. We give thanks anyway.